Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to learn how to ask neighbors to lower noise.
This is such a useful topic, Emma. We've all had those moments where the volume next door is just too much, but we don't want to start a fight.
Exactly, Mark. In this masterclass, we'll teach you the polite, confident English phrases you need to reclaim your peace and quiet. Let's start with some key vocabulary. First up is noise level, which refers to how loud the sound is.
And then there's volume, which is basically the same thing, especially when talking about a TV or loud music.
Right. Finally, we have quiet hours. These are specific times, usually at night, when residents are expected to keep the noise level down. When you approach a neighbor, starting politely is crucial. Use the phrase, "I'm sorry to bother you, but..."
That sounds so much better than "you're too loud." It shows respect.
Exactly. You could say, "I'm sorry to bother you, but the noise level is a bit high for me right now."
What if it's a specific issue, like a barking dog or loud music?
You can just add the specific issue to your polite opening. For example, "I'm sorry to bother you, but your barking dog has been quite loud."
Or, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you turn down the loud music a little bit?"
Timing is everything. Mentioning quiet hours helps explain why you're asking. "I'm sorry to bother you, but it's past quiet hours."
It shifts the blame from you just being annoyed to a general rule everyone should follow.
Sometimes the issue is heavy footsteps, especially if you have an upstairs neighbor and thin walls.
That's tricky. How do you ask them to walk lighter?
Say something like, "I live downstairs and the thin walls make it really easy to hear heavy footsteps. Could you try to step a bit lighter at night?" Let's see this in action. I'll knock on the door. "Hello, can I help you?"
Hi, I'm sorry to bother you, but the volume on your TV is a bit high. Would you mind turning it down?
"Oh, I had no idea. I'll turn it down right away." Sometimes you need a firm but kind approach. A great phrase is, "I would appreciate it if..."
Like, "I would appreciate it if you could lower the volume after 10 p.m.?
Exactly. It's a polite request, but it clearly states what you need.
What if they can't be completely quiet?
That's when you offer a compromise. For example, "I would appreciate it if you could use headphones for your loud music late at night."
A compromise shows you're willing to work with them, not just make demands.
If the friendly approach doesn't work, refer to the building rules.
As per the building rules, we have quiet hours starting at 10 p.m. That sounds very official.
Yes, it reminds them of their lease agreement without you having to sound angry. If your neighbor isn't home or you're too nervous to knock, leaving a friendly note is a good option.
Dear neighbor, I live next door. The thin walls make the noise level quite loud. I'd appreciate it if you could lower the volume. Thanks.
Perfect. Keep it short, polite, and clearly state the polite request. What if the noise continues after your first request?
Do we get angry then?
No, stay calm. Say, "Hi again. We spoke before about the noise level. I would appreciate it if we could find a compromise because it's still quite loud."
Hey, what's up? Hi, I'm sorry to bother you again, but your party is very loud and it's well past quiet hours.
My bad, we lost track of time. We'll wipe it up.
Thank you. I really appreciate the peace and quiet.
Exactly. Let the professionals handle it when direct communication fails.
So I would call the property manager and say, "I've tried making a polite request, but I need help with mediation regarding a noisy neighbor."
Exactly. Let the professionals handle it when direct communication fails.
Are expectations for peace and quiet the same everywhere?
Great question. No, cultural nuances play a big role. In some places, lively neighborhoods are normal. In others, strict quiet hours are sacred.
So it's important to understand the local vibe and your specific building rules.
Let's summarize the top phrases for resolving noise issues. 1. "I'm sorry to bother you." 2. "Could you lower the volume?" 3. "I would appreciate it if..." 4. "Can we find a compromise?" 5. "It's past quiet hours."
Armed with these, I feel ready to tackle any barking dog or loud TV.
Now it's time for our practice section. Have you ever had to deal with a really loud situation, Mark?
Oh, definitely. In my old apartment, my upstairs neighbor had the heaviest footsteps I've ever heard. It sounded like bowling.
That's so tough. Did you ever try making a polite request to them about it?
I did, actually. I used the "I'm sorry to bother you" approach, and it worked surprisingly well.
Let's practice right now. I'll pretend to be playing loud music, and you ask me to turn it down. Ready?
Hi, Emma. I'm sorry to bother you, but the volume of your music is really high, and it's past quiet hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mark. I didn't realize the thin walls let so much sound through. I'll use headphones.
Thank you. I really appreciate the compromise.
Great job, Mark. It's also vital to remember that we should strive to be good neighbors ourselves.
Absolutely. I always try to keep my noise level down after 10 p.m. to ensure everyone gets their peace and quiet.
Being considerate goes a long way. Thanks for practicing with me, Mark, and thank you all for watching.